It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a coffee taste review to step to. Casual Talk Radio's Coffee Taste Review is back. We have a blend that we're going to talk about and a few more in the coming weeks, one per week. I had a I had to do some research. I had to do some searching around, some soul searching, and then we had some other ideas that I thought would be good. We will intersperse some of these as we go along because I think maybe there's value in some of the information that we thought would be good or helpful, beneficial. So let's get into this one because I've left you deprived for so very long, and I do apologize. Our blend today is it's from Don Francisco. Don Francisco is a F. Gavinia and Sons. It's out in California, and they have a bunch of interest. So they're one of the very few that does flavored whole bean coffees, and I'm a fan of whole bean coffee. This is one of those spots that I wanted to share in the episode updates. Is I'm going to be sharing some of these tidbits and tips about good coffee. In our early episodes, we did some of this, the idea that you want to fresh grind your coffee. And I have a Cuisinart machine that has a grinder, and then you can grind it fresh for each cup of coffee. If you have a pot brewer, same thing. Or if you're going to do French press, my recommendation is to grind whole beans so that you get the freshness out of it instead of the packaged ground. The packaged ground has already lost, I would say, 40% of the flavor that you would experience. I know what some of you are thinking. You just don't care. You're used to the Folgers and all the other terrible coffees out there, and I understand. This show is really for people that want to try better coffee and they want to open up their palate and open their eyes to something that tastes better. It starts with how you prepare it. It starts with your water too. Get away from tap water. If you do have tap water, you need to have some sort of a filter or purifier that's stripping away all the garbage that the city puts into the water. It should be pure and fresh, ideally with a pH of 9.5 if you can do it. So I would recommend pH water 9.5 or Essentia water, Essentia, that you can order online, but I know some people are opposed to paying for water. I understand. Regardless, Don Francisco's whole bean vanilla nut coffee. It's a medium roast coffee, and it comes in their packaging is very impressive. It's not like, again, the garbage of Folgers in a tin or whatever. And the beans smell really good. The vanilla comes out very strong. They're very oily beans, which is, you have to watch out for oily beans sometimes, but it usually helps flavor if they are oily fresh out of the bag. They recommend sealing these and keeping them in the freezer to keep them fresh. I don't keep mine in the freezer. I have a temperature controlled bin in my fridge that I use for my coffee, and I think that seems to work. I think some coffees it's fine for fridge, and some coffees you probably want to do freezer. I generally am fine with the fridge, and then I do have a sealed container that I put them in. But again, it smells really good on the beans. Vanilla comes out strong. It ground really nice. I thought came out really good texture. Let's go ahead and give this bad boy a taste. Now, the very first thing that hits me is rum. And I know that there's not rum in it. I'm saying that that's the sensation that I get is rum. It's a rum taste, the rum that you would use to bake with, not the alcohol. But it's a rum sensation, even though I know it's not there. Kind of reminds me of an Irish cream. If you can picture, if you've ever had Irish cream, the coffee, not the creamer. If you've ever had Irish cream coffee, it's a very similar taste to it. I wouldn't say it's bad, but it's one that I don't, just for those that may be new. By the way, welcome. I don't do creamer in my coffee. I drink coffee black. I've learned that there's so much unhealthiness to creamers in general. And I don't add sweeteners. I don't add sugar. I don't do anything. It's just straight black. And I found that I feel better. I don't have the same negative feelings after drinking coffee. And this is because I'm older. When I was younger, certainly I would toss 3 creamers at it every time, especially when I was traveling. But now I'm just straight black coffees, just for reference. So I'm going off the flavor of the coffee alone with no additives is the point. And again, Irish cream is the number one thing that comes to mind. It still has some of the vanilla sensation, but it's lessened, and not in a bad way. But this is one where I might recommend a creamer, possibly a half and half creamer. I wouldn't add any sweetener to this because it does have kind of that tinge of the rum that I think offsets the need for excessive sweetness. Some people might say, I got to have at least a little bit of sweetener in it. If you're going to do that, I would recommend cane sugar, perhaps, and only maybe one packet. I'm telling you that I think you would overpower it. Like the joke is Marvin Gaye, one of his last interviews that he did, it's still on YouTube. He had to put like 10 packets of sugar in coffee. I can't imagine. Even when I was a kid, I couldn't imagine that much sugar in any coffee, much less this. If you're going to try it, I recommend one packet of sugar if you have to have sweetener, but I do recommend trying it without, or get a sweetened creamer, perhaps. And if you do that, then an Irish cream creamer, I think, is good. A hazelnut creamer, I think, is good. Other than that, I would enjoy it as is. I think it's very smooth, mellow. It has a little bit of an aftertaste because of the oil. So there you'll taste it on your tongue for a little bit after, but it's not that bleh type of taste. It's just it's the flavor. And for those that don't know what I mean, your sense of smell is connected to your sense of taste. So what you smell is what's persistent on your tongue, and you'll that sensation will ride. And some people don't like that, especially because it'll affect your breath. So Don Francisco's vanilla nut, very good coffee, very good blend, very enjoyable. We will have another. This is a different. I'm going to switch it up a little bit. We'll have a different brand, completely different brand for next week's update. And then we'll have a little bit more tidbits on how to make the best coffee you possibly can. Get away from the dreck that's out there.